Habit number 15, authenticity and values. Now we're changing up a gear. So far, habit 12 is about 100% responsibility. Wherever you are in life, just take responsibility and you step into your power to make changes. Habits 13 and 14 is all about emotional release, emotional freedom, emotional release, to get rid of all the crap we've taken on and continually release it as it comes to you. Now we're getting more towards the positive side, where we're going to start to get your life on track and then build all the natural tools to raise your vibration and take you where you want to go. So authenticity and values. Now this is on our buckets chart. This is your vocational health on the top right corner, the only one that specifically focuses on your vocational health. The secondary buckets are your emotional, mental health, makes a big impact on both those. Pretty much those in everything. That's why they're the heart of the operation. And your spiritual health. You get this one right, authenticity and values, and you get on the right track vocationally, it's pretty much your spiritual path at the same time. These two go hand in hand together. Now, when I use the word authenticity, what I'm talking about is living an inspired life in tune with your highest values. To give you an example, when Stephen and I do numerology readings, we've been doing that for the best part of 5 years, where we go to mind, body, spirit fairs, and we offer numerology readings to people. We take their name and date of birth and we decode it and we tell them all about themselves. Now, if you've seen the prologue where we talk about we all choose a life, the level of hardness, who we're going to be, and it's all pre-known and we choose it, and then we have a memory wiped. Your name and date of birth is effectively the energetic coordinates of the life you live in. When you decode it, you'll find all the information about you is there. So we know we can tell people inside out what all their strengths, abilities, weaknesses are just from their name and date of birth. You can't hide once you know how to interpret it. Now, what we often find with people is they sort of got off track and we're saying, whoa, you're very good at this, and do you realise you're skilled here and you've got that, and they're sort of thinking, yeah, well, I know. But what happens, this you could say the beauty of or the frustration of life, very often we come in with all this enthusiasm, excitement, with big ideas, but life takes in a different direction and we start suppressing our soul, what our soul wants to do. Because within these readings we do, we've got something called the soul urge. That's something your heart and soul naturally wants to do, naturally enthused when you're doing it. So authenticity is about living an inspiring life in accordance with your highest values. Now, so what a value is, it's simply something you place high value on. To give you an example, when it comes to sport, I highly value sport. I've played it for decades. I love watching it. Stephen, on the other hand, is nonplussed when it comes to sport. He doesn't watch it, never bothers to participate. He just doesn't value it. So we have opposites. I get a lot of value from it. He doesn't bother it. We both have high value on family time. Now, in everyday life, let's say you've got a high value on looking good. You might find you always look fantastic, have great clothes, but your finances might not be where they could be because you place a high value on finances, high value on looking good than you do on finances. Or you may have a higher value on watching TV than housework. So your house might be a little bit untidy, however you're always relaxed and very entertained. Okay, so there's no right or wrong way. It's what is most important to you. So what this habit is all about is going through an exercise to figure out what your highest values are. Because as I mentioned previously, if you're not living in accordance with your highest values, your soul urge, your heart and soul, you can very easily start to suppress your life away in different areas and start pushing your energy down. Now, it might be relationships, your vocation, your circle of friends, your day-to-day activities. If it's not feeding your soul, you need to change it. Okay, anything that is suppressing your soul, makes you feel worse, is draining your energy, is pushing you down. So it could be your relationship with your significant other, your family. It could be your main job, your hobbies, anything. if you can align your life with everything that feeds your soul. Now, when I say feed your soul, your heart and soul, there are some things that will naturally motivate you. And that's what this habit is all about, is bringing those into your life. We're not talking about making drastic changes. We're talking about identifying what naturally motivates you. Things you'll have forgotten. When we do numerology readings, we say to people, do you realise you're naturally good at this? And think, yeah, I used to do that, but I don't know, I sort of fell off track. It's very, very easy in the modern world to just forget where we're meant to be. We take jobs because it pays the bills, but it doesn't feed the soul. Okay, now that's energy drain if you do it for long enough. So this is about figuring out what you naturally value, and then aligning your life to go in that direction. So everything you do, your general purpose in life, your general activities, feed the soul and raise your energy, and you feel wonderful. Okay, so 3 parts to this. The very first one is determining your values. It's a simple exercise, 13 questions. It's not ours. It's a guy, a bit of an American guru called Dr. John D. Martini. He's come up with this. He does behavioural consultations, helping people live a life of purpose and get on the right track. Okay, rather than invent this, his is so good, we just recommended people do his. You can do it in the pack, or you can go to his exercise. We put the link there so you can do it. 13 questions, and basically it's questions that will elicit what your values are. It might be something like, if you go into a bookshop, which sections are you drawn to? You'll be naturally drawn to certain sections that you think, oh, okay, yeah, what we've got here. If you go to a newsstand, what magazines are you naturally drawn to? If you're with your friends, what do you want the topic of conversation to come around to, where you're naturally enthused and motivated, inspired to do? Could be social media. You're on social media. What topics make you want to dive in and add your input because you're enthused? So you'll find, as you go through these 13 questions, there's certain things in your life that you're just absolutely inspired and motivated to do without any thought, because that's where your soul is. That's your soul urge. It feeds your soul. Yeah, your energy immediately raised when you're dealing with that. Okay, so it's 13 questions. You'll find the same answers coming up over and over again in different questions. You go through the 13 questions, you get a list of values. So you should get 39 answers, 3 for each one. And then you compile them into a table, and you'll find there might be 10, 12 of common ones that keep coming up. So you compile them into the table, you'll find your highest values are at the top, the ones that are most frequent. So once you've got that, take your time with this, go through it. You might have to go through it 2 or 3 times, really think about it, okay? It's as you go through it, you'll find the answers are fairly simple, because it talks about your environment. You'll notice your environment reflection of what's going on inside your head. It's get it on paper. You'll see it, it's obvious as you go through it. Okay, right, I'm naturally motivated to do this. So that's the first thing, is to determine what they are. Once you've got them, and you've got them in the table, the highest things, and you think, yeah, of course I'm motivated to do all these things. It might be health, family, might be art, certain hobby, things you've always wanted to do. Once you know what they are, it's then aligning your life. So you think you might find you're a little off track. You're just doing a job because it pays the bills, but it's something you really want to do. Start a business doing something, or start a hobby that just fills you with enthusiasm. So it's taking them and thinking, okay, right, let's weave this into my life. Right, family time is very important. Right, okay, I'm going to change my routine, 5 to 7 every day. Phone's off, I'm going to spend time with the family. Nobody's going to interrupt this, because it fills me with joy. I don't need inspiration, I just love it, so it's a priority. Might be, I'm going to start a hobby. It's something I've always wanted to do. I'm going to put an hour aside every day. I'm going to just work on that. That's how we built this pack, by the way. Myself and Stephen are old souls that are motivated to want to help. I used to be in financial services consulting. Now we do a lot of life coaching, and this pack is an extension of the numerology. We realised that people's health are not as good as they should be, and we started giving health advice, and that's how the whole idea was born. We've probably put, over the last 15, 18 months, 1,000 or more hours into the research, hundreds and hundreds of hours putting it together, for no financial rewards, as yet, but we're naturally inspired to want to get this information out there. So we're old souls that know it's in the right place. We have we don't need any motivation whatsoever. It's a Saturday afternoon, a gorgeous day out there, and I'm writing videos because we love to do this. Our heart and soul wants to express this. I'm sure you'll pick this up through the camera when you're watching the videos. Okay, so that's what it's all about. It's what feels right, what feels inspirational. Okay, so once you're aligning your life with these actions. Now, if you're going to make some major changes, you think, okay, I've got a relationship here that's not feeding me, I need to get rid. Okay, do it incrementally, whatever you need to do. So all the key areas of your life are feeding your life. Now let's say you've got stuff that you think are drudgery. You've got to do the gardening, the housework, the ironing, but there's a hobby that you would love to do and turn into a business, and ultimately a full-time business that just fills your enthusiasm. If you've got the means to pay somebody else to do it, all the drudgery, do that. It's low value to you. Get somebody else doing it so you can concentrate on what you want to do. Okay, that is what's meant by filling your life with higher value activities, so you're living a life of inspiration. Okay, so you're making adjustments, determine what they are, the values, and then it's starting to adjust your life so you're bringing this in. So you start to live a life of things that you want to do, that you're motivated, inspired, and naturally fill you with energy as you're doing them. So we're talking about the things that push you up that chart. Trying to offload the stuff that is pulling your energy down, getting rid of that, moving on, changing things, might be hobbies, jobs, vocations, friends, stuff that pulls you down, and filling it with things that raises, that naturally lifts your heart and soul. Okay, I mean, I know I'm labouring this point, but you know exactly what I mean. We're going up that spiral by adjusting your life. Now, this could be a big exercise, so don't rush it. Take your time. Go through it a few times if you need to, and start incrementally figuring out what you need to do and start to do it. If it's a big task, just do it a little bit at a time. This pack has taken the whole program 15 to 18 months to put together, but we're doing an hour a day here, a few more hours at weekends, a few more hours on a day off to incrementally put it all together. You'll get there. If you're inspired to do it, you will get there bit by bit, because you don't need motivating, because your heart and soul already wants to do it. Okay, right, just to bring this one to a close. So your tasks with habit 15, and this is very, very important to get you on the track. Okay, is first to complete the determine your values exercise, which is the first stage in the pack. The second is to do the aligning exercise to figure out, okay, how can you make adjustments to start moving your life so you live in accordance with them. And then it's the third step is reprioritizing your routine. There's a bit of an action plan to bring this into your everyday life. And then once you've done that, which is a bit of effort, but it's well worth it, to make your heart and soul sing, is then to monitor your daily actions and say, okay, am I living in accordance with my highest values? Okay, if not, what can I adjust? And then finally, it's reevaluate the whole thing periodically. You might want to do this every 6 months, once a year, to make sure everything's lined up. Now I'm going to finish. You see at the top of the banner at the top of the chapter, it says, it is essential that you live authentically and aligned to your highest values to live an inspired and fulfilled life. We all know that's true. When you're doing that, you feel wonderful, your vibration goes through the roof. Please take your time and get this right. Very, very important to be on the right track. Thank you for watching.